What is up, everybody? We are officially live on the channel for this outbreak weather coverage right now that we do have. Let's get into this and really get ready here, as we have huge storms currently impacting a lot of areas right now. With a huge line of storms that just rolled through Memphis, Tennessee, and brought some really strong winds, up to even 70 miles an hour, even more than 70 miles an hour in some spots here. So a very significant event of storms that is occurring right now and is going to be pretty dangerous. So this is what we are getting into watching right now and getting prepared for, is this weather that is currently occurring across the US right now here. I'm going to go post this real quick on X, and then I will really get ready on this live stream. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. So we do get a look at this here. We have the storms that are currently impacting Memphis, Bartlett, Lakeland, Cordova, Germantown, Arlington's getting impacted by this, Mason. Then we do have a tornado warning to the north. It's a little bit weaker to the north, but we do have a tornado warning in effect because it's a little bit more capable of producing a tornado to the north. The winds are a little bit less to the north, but that threat of the strong winds will be a little bit further to the south, impacting Memphis right now. We have some more storms down here, but we're going to look first at these storms further north, and then we'll kind of make our way down once we kind of get to that there. If you guys do have any questions, I will be answering any of them 100%. Just displaying my stream so I can take a look at that real quick. I gotta make sure everyone can hear me. Yep, we got that. Okay. Just had to make sure there. So we do have a tornado warning in effect. This does include Ripley into Halls, Focals, Friendship, Maury cities all going to be impacted by this. Alamo and Dyersburg are all under this tornado warning that is currently in effect. And this is definitely a dangerous one here that I am watching. We do have that rotation kind of really close to Ripley in Tennessee here. So I'm going to really get a deep look into this storm right now so we can see what's going to happen with this. 1 second real quick. So this is our area of rotation. Kind of, it's really close to the Ripley area, which is what I am watching. Over in Ripley here is this big storm we do have, and is moving to the northeast. So Halls, Friendship, Maury City, Focals into Dyersburg do need to be heading to their safe spot in the future, and Henning all needs to be in their safe spots in the future. Well, right now they need to be in their safe spots due to the storm. We do have that little, see this little hook right there? That's where we do have that potential for a tornado in this area right here. That is heading to the northeast. Now, this may not be on the ground right now, but it definitely has the potential, the real potential, to produce a tornado. That's why you guys do need to be taking shelter immediately with this storm that is occurring. I do notice we got two different couplets right here that I'm a little bit concerned about. I do not think this is a CC drop. I'm really not sure, but I do not. The rotation kind of doesn't really correlate with it very well. But I'm definitely watching this southern side of this line for the potential to produce a tornado. The northern side has potential too, but it's not nearly as significant. Now we do have more storms with this severe thunderstorm warning currently impacting Cedar Grove, Medina, Oakfield, Parker Crossroads, Clarksburg, into Trezevant, Atwood, and Milan, all in portions of western Tennessee right now, which is a really concerning storm that I am paying attention to. And this is kind of ahead of that line, so it does definitely have that tornado potential that I am watching. So we're definitely going to be looking at that. Now we do have another area of storms down here. The radar is really it's not very good down in this area in southern portions of Arkansas. But if we kind of try to get a look at this storm real quick, Okay, yeah, this is our line of storms right here. So we do have a tornado warning on the southern side of this. We have a severe thunderstorm warnings impacting Helena, West Helena, Lula, Lake View, Marvel, Freers Point, Senatobia, Coldwater, Hernando, and Tunica, and portions of Arkansas and Mississippi, and more severe thunderstorm warnings to the south. But we also have this tornado warning that I'm slightly concerned about. Heading into Watson right now. This is moving to the northeast. That's currently impacting Watson that I am watching for the potential to produce a tornado. And this is our line of storms right here. And, I mean, this could definitely produce an embedded tornado, so I'm definitely watching this very real threat. There's definitely rotation on this, so you need to be taking shelter immediately in Watson, Yankopen, and Snow Lake areas, and maybe even Gunnison and Rosedale in the future for this storm really close to the Mississippi River that is currently occurring. Definitely some dangerous storms out there. If anybody has any questions, I will answer them. 1 second, I'm going to check if there's any questions. Oh, Paris, Tennessee. Okay, yes, I will take a look at Paris, Tennessee real quick. Let's get over to that. So we do have a storm to the south of Paris. Paris is kind of just getting impacted by some isolated thunderstorms that aren't severe. This line could impact Paris in the future, the northern part of it, but I do think the threat is a little bit lower over in Paris than it is further into some other areas. But I definitely am watching these storms, as we have an area right here that I'm a little bit concerned about that is moving to the north east with those storms down there. It's slightly weak, but I am definitely watching that. I do think it may impact the southern side of Paris, so it'll probably be heading towards Brewston, Huntingdon, Buena Vista, Holiday, and Camden in the future. But anywhere further to the north may not, probably will be spared by this, in my opinion, is what I'm thinking. And it's not too significant of a storm either. It's producing 60 miles an hour winds, it says. There is a tornado possible signature on this, but the rotation doesn't look too crazy with it. But I'm definitely watching the storm in the future. It's not too significant right now at all, but I'm definitely watching it, as there's a big line right behind it, so. You're welcome. You're welcome. One second, everybody. All right. If you hear that noise in the background, it's just my fish tank. It's really loud. It makes this like watery kind of sound. It's a little obnoxious, but it's okay. Now we do have this tornado warning still in effect currently that just impacted Ripley. This is now heading towards Gates, Maury City, Friendship, Focals, and Dyersburg in the future, but I do think the southern side of it's a little more significant here for Maury City, Halls, and Gates and Friendship over here in western portions of Tennessee. The rotation is not insanely significant right now, but I'm definitely watching the real potential for a tornado, as this thing could definitely spin up a tornado, an embedded tornado, anytime. So you definitely need to be taking shelter with that storm right there. Now if we go back to that one other tornado warning in southern portions of Arkansas here, that is going to be heading into Mississippi. We do this tornado warning in effect here in portions really close to the Mississippi River. Watson's about to be impacted by this in the next few minutes or so. Yankopen and Snow Lake. This thing in the long run will be impacting Rosedale, Gunnison, Deason, and maybe even Shelby if it can sustain, which I do think it will stay strong. I just do not know if the tornado threat will make it all the way to Shelby, Duncan, Buchanan, and Winstonville and Mound Bayo. Non-bio. And that is what we are watching right now. Real worse, kind of on the edge of that, but I would take shelter in that area too. If we look at the rotation, it's kind of really difficult with this line to see where there's rotation. We're kind of in a really bad radar zone. The storm is really strong itself. I mean, it's a very, very strong storm, producing strong winds and 1-inch hail. And does have that real potential to produce a tornado, but it's really hard to tell if we do have a tornado because we're so far away from the radar. But that doesn't mean you don't need to take shelter, because there's definitely that real potential to produce a tornado with that storm. If you guys do any questions, I will answer them in the chat. Okay. So these storms are currently impacting Lakeland, Hickory with Oakland, Somerville, Williston, Moscow, Collierville, Rossville, Germantown, Capleville, Cordova, and Bartlett are all getting impacted by this. Memphis, you're kind of on the edge of that now. I just think they're going to see heavy rain in Memphis and a lot of training of storms, but the real severe threat is probably just around done in Memphis. But the wind threat is now pushing into Mason, Stanton, Somerville, and Brownsville areas with that really real wind threat up to 70 miles an hour with this line moving east. This significant line. What's Magnolia, Texas looking like? 1 second. I can take a look at that real quick. I just need to figure out where this is. Magnolia, Texas. Alright. Oops. Okay, Magnolia, Texas. You are basically fine over there in Magnolia. I do notice that there's a little bit of a alpha boundary that probably brought some strong winds into there, but really right now, the real severe weather threat is not really in the Houston area. If I take a look at the SBC's outlook real quick. Oh, okay. So Houston is under wait, is Houston? Yeah, okay. Houston is under a tornado watch in that area, with the potential for a few tornadoes possible. I will watch that, as that alpha boundary is probably causing the storms to increase in intensity. Right now, the storms do not look like they're producing a tornado. I think the storms are a little bit stronger in Jersey Village up here and Corville, But your area in Magnolia right there, I think that the storms have kind of passed to the east of you now. We do have a few storms behind it, but I think the threat's a little less in your area now as most of the storms have kind of passed by. But I will pay attention to your area to see what could happen in the future. But right now, I think you are pretty safe there. Hope that answered your question. You're welcome. One second, real quick. Sorry about that. I'm trying to figure something out. Guys, I'll get back to this real quick in a second. But what about the woodlands? Okay. No, I'm not. You're not wasting my time at all. I was just figuring. I just had to do something real quick. You're not wasting my time. You're perfectly fine. I do not mind. I like when people ask questions. It makes it less boring. Uh, so the woodlands. I'm pretty sure that's north of Houston, 'cause like Conroe or something like that. Um, I'm trying to figure this out. Oh yeah. I think this is kind of where the woodlands. It doesn't show up on my radar software. Um, for some reason. But the woodland, yeah, it's just the woodlands is right here. So it's raining in the woodlands right now with some isolated thunderstorms. They're kind of moving to the northeast. I do think the threat is a tad bit higher there than it is in Magnolia. Over there in the woodlands, there's no rotation with these storms right now, so the tornado threat's kind of weak right now, as the storms are also a little bit weak. But I am watching that threat there as those storms are strengthening close to that area. But right now they're perfectly fine, but I will be watching it. Over there. Right now it's just just normal thunderstorms in the woodlands in Conroe. Alright. So, if we have this tornado warning up here towards Friendship, Halls, Maury City, Dyersburg, and Focals, still currently in effect, they might extend this warning to Trenton and Dyer and Yorkville, in Roe Ellen in the future, in western Tennessee. I'm watching this area right here. I do not know. I'm going to go to the rotation real quick. Okay, there is a small amount of rotation. It's not very strong. I mean, there's definitely some inflow moving into that storm, but the outer winds are kind of weak, so I'm definitely watching that, but it's kind of weak right now. It's definitely kind of weak right now, but I'm definitely watching this storm. But still take shelter up there in Friendship, Maury City, and maybe in the future Trenton, Almo, and Roe Ellen, and Dyer, as this could really, it's a line of storms, so it could produce an embedded tornado at any time, so you definitely need to be watching that. Now, this whole line of storms, all the way down from Memphis, all the way up to Dyersburg, has the real potential for 70 miles an hour plus winds This will impact Jackson, Tennessee in the future. This really keeps up that threat. Brownsville is going to be impacted by this. Somerville, Williston, Moscow, Rossville in the future. Oakland, and Bells, and Gadsden, and Humboldt. With this really real, so that's some strong winds out of that in Stanton, Mason, Oakland, Brownsville, and Somerville. Up there in western portions of Tennessee, that is moving to the east. Alright. Looks like we do have a news review this morning. I'm going to take a look at this real quick. Okay, yeah, so we do have a news survey done this morning. This is heading towards McKinnon, Erin, Cumberland City, Sladen, and Van Leer. Sladen was the area that got impacted by a significant tornado actually not too long ago, a few days ago. So that's definitely sad that there's a storm heading their way. Luckily, this thing doesn't look like it's producing a tornado at the moment. It's just a normal severe thunderstorm warning. It doesn't have a tornado possible tag on it. But right now, the threat is mostly just 60 miles an hour winds with this storm, and the rotation does not look too crazy. I mean, there's a little bit of it over McKinnon, but it's slightly weak. I mean, it's pretty weak. But I will be definitely watching that potential. If it strengthens, they may issue a tornado warning, but right now it's not looking too crazy. Just the big threat is damaging winds, and definitely head indoors as this moves east towards Sladen, Van Leer, Erin, Cumberland City, Oakwood, into McKinnon. Wow, we have a considerable... Oh, no, we have a flash flood emergency for Memphis. So a really, really dangerous... I mean, we've had so much flash flooding occurring. Not just the tornado and severe weather threat. We have a flash flood emergency in effect for Memphis Metro. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Seek higher ground now. This is life-threatening flash flooding, including Bartlett, South Haven, Collierville, Germantown, Memphis, West Memphis, Millington, Hernando, all under the gun for this flash flood emergency that is currently in effect, and Arlington, all in this across the Memphis area. As the storms, it doesn't look like it's letting up. We've got some training of thunderstorms currently moving through Memphis that has that real potential for some extreme flash flooding. We've already, let's see what it shows. Yeah, we've already seen 1 and 3 inches of rain. It says additional amounts of 2 to 4 inches expected or possible across this areas. We got some really, really heavy rain moving through Memphis right now. That is really, really not stopping. Yeah, catastrophic threat there in Memphis as a really big flash flood warning is in effect. Emergency, I meant. Flash flood emergency. Definitely some dangerous risk. One second real quick, everybody. Let's go look at that storm down there that just is continuing into portions of Arkansas and Mississippi. Yeah, they did extend that real quick. I'm checking the weather right now, making sure with everything real quick. Okay, so for this storm, we do have this big storm heading towards Snow Lake, Gunnison, Shelby, into Hushpecana, Duncan, Alligator. Alligator. That's a weird name for a town. So, Deason, Gunnison, Shelby, Hushpecana, and Alligator and Snow Lake are all under the gun for this storm. What you do need to be heading to your safe spot right now. This is located over Watson or near P Ridge, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. We're in a bad radar area, but that does not, and even though the rotation doesn't look insane, do not let your guard down. Take shelter now, as this thing could produce a tornado at any moment. So you need to head to your safe spot. It's suddenly a really strong storm too. It's probably going to produce a lot of heavy rainfall in that area here. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings to the south if we look at this. So yeah, definitely that tornado warning that's in effect that I am definitely concerned about. There may not be a tornado on the ground, but there's definitely that real potential in the future with this severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado for northeastern Bolivar County. Now we also have a severe thunderstorm warning down here in Greenville, Leyland, Arcola, Hollandale, Lake Village, Portland, Parkdale, Wilmot, and Eudora. This is between the border of Arkansas and Mississippi and Louisiana, kind of bordering the three states right there. But this thing's heading towards those areas that I just mentioned, with the real risk for 60 miles an hour winds and quarter-sized hail with that storm. Now, this storm that has this tornado potential, to the south of it, there's some wind potential in Arkansas City, Scott, Cleveland, Marigold, Winstonville, Mountain Bayou, Pace, and Nabula, and Bolivar, and Benoit in Scott areas. A lot of small towns that are kind of hard to say over there in those areas. Why is my... One sec. I'm trying to make sure. Is my stream working for you guys? It's like doing the loading symbol. Okay. I guess that's just my phone. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so the storm is, we also have another severe thunderstorm warning in northern portions of Louisiana. This thing is heading towards Farmerville into Marion, Downsville, Vienna, Dubuque, with that severe thunderstorm warning. This thing is not too strong, but definitely showing it has potential for 60 miles an hour winds and quarter-sized hail that I am watching. I honestly don't think this thing should be severe, but it is, so I don't know. Alright, so with these storms, we do have another severe thunderstorm warning. The extension of this heading towards Jackson, Humboldt, Milan, Trenton, Atwood, Trezevant, Cedar Grove, Beach Bluff, into Henderson, Sillerton, into Hornsby Boulevard, Moscow, Williston, and Somerville, Brownsville, Maury City, Alamo. So that tornado warning has expired in Maury City, Alamo, and Bells and Friendship, and Humboldt, so you no longer need to be in your safe spot. You can now get out of your safe spot for that area, as the tornado threat has started to diminish. But now the main threat is going to be 60 miles an hour winds with this line moving through those areas. That's going to be pretty significant. So Jackson is probably the biggest town that's going to be impacted by this in the future. Bolivar, Henderson's also going to be impacted, and Humboldt and Trenton, Milan. Okay, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning too for these storms. This is heading towards Buena Vista, Holiday, Clarksburg, Parker Crossroads, Camden, Eva, New Johnsonville, into Brewston right now. With this severe thunderstorm warning, we do have the threat for 60 miles an hour winds and quarter-sized hail with this, as this storm is currently moving through that area. This is definitely strengthened into a bigger storm than it originally was, so that's what I'm definitely watching as this storm is currently rolling through. Yeah, definitely a strong storm. Heading towards Camden. 1 inch hail, 60 miles an hour winds possible in Camden, Brewston, Buena Vista, Holiday, and Clarksburg right now. Okay, we do have another severe thunderstorm warning here heading towards Erin, Cumberland City, Indian Mound, into Oakwood, Dover, and Sladen, Van Leer. I do not know why Sladen's in this. I mean, the storm is going to head their general direction in the future, but the storm for the severe thunderstorm warning is kind of the north of Sladen, Van Leer. I do think it would be a better warning like this that I just showed, as this thing is currently heading towards Cumberland City, into Erin, Tennessee Ridge, Oakwood, into Indian Mound, and Dover right now. So definitely a significant storm moving through. This one does look like it has a little bit more wind potential with it. Yeah, the winds are a tad bit stronger with this storm. Heading towards Cumberland City, Oakwood, maybe in Clarksville, which is a little bit more populated in the future with these storms rolling through. Sorry guys, I'm really tired. Okay, there is a new mesoscale discussion as the damaging wind and tornado threat to persist through the afternoon, heading towards Nashville in the future, Jackson to Waynesboro and Columbia, in Tennessee, with the wind of 65 to 80 miles an hour, and then the tornado threat just looked to be a tad bit lower. The tornado threat's a little bit higher to the south. Honestly, do not realize why they issued a 15 sig tornado threat. I do agree with the wind threat, but I do not feel this really needed a moderate risk of severe weather, in my general opinion. It's definitely some pretty significant storms that's occurring. Now, we do have this tornado warning in effect heading towards Clarksdale, Duncan, Shelby, Sherwood, Matson, Freers Point, Stovall, Hillhouse, Snow Lake, Deason, and Lundell and Elaine. It's over Lundell and Snow Lake currently at the moment. Watson, the storm's passed by now. The storm's still strong, but the tornado threat's passed by now. This is a really, really, really strong-looking storm. It's huge, and that tornado threat is definitely there that I am watching. So you do need to be heading to your safe spot if you are in that area for this storm heading toward Clarksdale, which is a little bit more of a populated area in the future with this tornado warning moving in. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning extended almost up to Memphis. Memphis is just getting dumped on with rain right now. For Hernando into Memphis, or I don't know why that says Memphis. That's not. There's two Memphises right next to each other. What? Hernando, Coldwater, Senatobia areas with a new severe thunderstorm warning extension that just got issued. But definitely catastrophic flooding risk there in Memphis areas. Hernando. One sec, I'm gonna check out how much rain. Oh wow, yeah, just tons of rain there in Memphis. Memphis has seen 2 inches of rain in the past hour. Wow, 2-inch rainfall rates there. Some heavy, heavy rain in Memphis. Now, we also have the severe thunderstorm warning down here in Lufkin, Nagogdoches, I don't know how to say that, Chereno, Melrose, Martinsville, and Appleby, and Lufkin into Hertie, Redland, Burke, and Dubble, all in portions of eastern Texas here. Nagogdoches and Lufkin are the big towns where this thing's heading towards. With this severe thunderstorm warning in effect here. This is a threat for 60 miles an hour winds and quarter-sized hail, so definitely be getting indoors with that storm. Now we do have this severe thunderstorm warning with this big storm heading towards Bolivar, Hornsby, Tune, Silverton, Jackson, Medina, and Milan and Humboldt right now. This is definitely really strong in the northern side of it, I'm noticing right now, with some strong winds heading through Mercer, Whiteville, into Tune, Silverton, and Medon and Jackson, Tennessee right now with those big storms, that big line of storms that is moving through currently. And we do still have this severe thunderstorm warning with this big old storm heading towards Camden, Brewston, Buena Vista, Holiday, and Eva, New Johnsonville right now with that pretty strong storm. This does have a tornado possible with it. I do notice a little bit of rotation in Buena Vista. I will be watching that. I do not think it has. I think if it strengthens more, will be a tornado warning, but right now it's not. So the real threat right now is just hail and wind. And then same thing, a tornado possible. The rotation's a lot weaker with this one. In Cumberland City or Erin, Tennessee Ridge, Indian Mound, Oakwood, and Sladen with that big storm rolling through currently. Definitely a pretty strong storm. Looks like we could see a little bit of Boeing echo here with strong winds heading towards Cumberland City. Go to velocity on that. Yeah, definitely some strong winds right there. Is that a rotation? Not too significant. Okay. So yeah, definitely I'm watching this. I'm going to take a break real quick, guys. Sorry, I'm going to just take a real quick break. Thanks to everyone that is currently watching my stream. I just need to take a real quick break. Alright. One second, guys. Break. Alright. We'll be back in a little bit.